Hello and welcome to the Punters Show. Matthew Taylor, Mark Lambourne, Glenn Pollitt is nowhere to be found.
What?
Yes.
Gone west, young man.
Yes, Glenn. Well,
yeah,
Glenn did announce that he was going away this weekend, but Glenn has announced.
No one ever believes him.
Glenn has announced that he's been going away a long time, so we didn't bother finding a guest because we expected Glenn just to turn up and say, "Oh, hi guys, no, it's no good over there."
Yeah.
But Glenn's got a few days off, and we'll be back, I think, at the races on Wednesday. But anyway, Matthew has been the Melbourne expert for one to follow for a while, so we'll and obviously with the focus on Melbourne, we'll have a bit of a look at that. And Mark, unlike the Daily Telegraph, which has a contract with Racing New South Wales, and the editorial manager there, who doesn't admit to being the editorial manager, wants to see double-page spreads of, what was it on Saturday, on Cox Plate Day or Friday, whatever it was for that great Sydney Carter racing, and just basically ignored the Cox Plate. It's awful. But anyway, and I'm sure on Derby Day we'll see a great double-page wraparound on the Telegraph. On Rose Hill. I'm sure, Matthew Smith might have a key runner that we can get the Matthew Smith story or something like that. No offence to Matty Smith, I like Matt Smith, but yeah. Anyway, it's that's where racing has become, Mark.
It's a bit like 5-2-1, isn't it? It's not too much action in Melbourne.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't exist, does it? Now, wouldn't you think now, El Capitano and all the people at Racing New South Wales who want to shut us down because we have a different opinion and all that, maybe it's racing, and racing should probably piggyback off each other when it's big, and maybe if you embraced the Caulfield Cup or embraced the Cox Plate or embraced Derby Day, you'd have a bit of a chance for more people to take an interest in the shit heap meetings that you keep putting up. Maybe that might be an idea rather than go on with your petty jealousies. Just a thought, I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Editorial to start the show.
Oh, it's just becoming ludicrous. I mean, we keep getting served up this rubbish that they keep telling us it's good racing.
Yeah.
And now, it's an insult to the intelligence, to the general punter, to have that as something that 8 pages of features on whatever it is on low grade racing. If you wanted to make the argument up until Caulfield Cup Day that we still do have a Spring Champion Stakes, whatever that is, but when you want to make benchmark 20 races the feature as opposed to Cox Plate Day,
it's amazing, isn't it? And you'd think you'd just at least pretend.
I mean, you've got you've got very hard-working journalists and people with great ideas with Ray and Nick, and I reckon, Ray Thomas being in Melbourne, working his guts out, and thinking, why even bother sending Ray to Melbourne if you're in the Telegraph? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, we'll talk about Melbourne, but before we do, we have to talk about the 100k Derby Day, or Derby Day 100k. What way is it, Matthew?
Derby Day 100k.
Derby Day, hashtag Derby Day 100k, massive tournament. It's the big news of the week.
That's this Saturday, Dale.
It's this Saturday, yes, exactly. Don't read it in the Telegraph. But Matthew, tournament.
Yeah, so look, it's the biggest one by a long way that the guys have put together.
Oh, biggest tournament in Australian racing history.
And it's good to get Matty Johns involved too.
Matthew Johns is the ambassador for the top beta tournaments.
So where can we see more Matty Johns? Just videos on the website?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I suppose that Matty's probably more for the general people to cross over to that. But what our people want are to be involved with the stars of our punting world, and we've got some teams that you can join up with. We keep saying it's $1,000. Just for a correction for any time I say it, whenever we say it's that, add 10% to it, because you've got to have the rake. So it's $1,100 buy-in, or you can go through a team and buy 10%. Now the team captains are Mr. Stephen Fletcher.
Yep, he's been prominent, and his team are doing a very good job in Melbourne already, as they always do.
Yep. So I'll catch up with Fletch during the week and have a quick video about his team. So there's 10 spots available in Fletcher's. Look, we're saying 10 spots at the moment. We might change it during the week. Just see what the response is. But at the moment, there's only 10 spots. So you'll have to get in quick for these, because we probably will be just capping it at that. Team Leinster.
Oh, you'll be back.
He'll be back.
It's got to be the most popular team, doesn't it?
Well, who is going to be the most popular? I mean, look, for everybody out there, so we don't have a problem, can you jump on board with Glenn and get his team filled up first?
You think he'll be feeling insecure?
Yes, exactly right. So for all of our Saturday, can you please get
guaranteed SP favourite.
Well, you're going to start favourite.
Yeah.
He's been. Has he been warming up? Has he?
Oh, this is his. He'd be planning over in Perth right now, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Spreadsheets. He's got Team Glenster rented out a room at a hotel, like some sort of some sort of event going on.
So Team Glen, so if you want to jump on with Glen, it's every one of these is 110 buy-in and you get a 10th share.
Yep.
Team Darren Potter, in Pots we trust.
Yeah, Potts, I think he's joined by Drippy.
Yep.
Who's doing the show, and yeah, everyone knows Darren's our Melbourne expert, and he's due. He's been thereabouts, but he's due for a big one. Yeah,
lovely. So Team that, and then Team Young Guns, Matt.
Team Young Guns, yeah, it's Aaron, myself, and yourself.
Young Guns.
So we'll have a different approach to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly, almost. Yeah, exactly. So there's there is some love for Aaron out there. I don't know.
Well, Aaron might want to join Team Fletch.
Yeah, well, Fletch would probably want him to join Team Fletch, but anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
Sure.
But so you got the 4 teams from us, and there's also Team Matty Johns too, if you want to jump with Matty as well too. So,
okay.
So but from Punter Show point of view, Team Fletch, Team Glenster, Team us, and Team Potts. So,
and if you got more to spend, just have your own team.
That's exactly right. You've got it's $1,100 buy-in if you want to go for the big result. You can buy into the teams for $100, or as we always say, get your mates together, form a syndicate, throw a couple of hundred in each, and you are playing for a minimum of $60,000. That's guaranteed for first prize. We paid into third or fourth? Is it 60-20?
It has been.
I think it's 60-30.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you're either getting up to 10,000 for third, or whatever it is down to fourth. So just have a look at the site, and you can just do that by clicking on. At the top right here above the Punter Show, just go to puntershow.com. You're on there. You'll see it. The tab right there. Click through, and that'll take you through to the teams and also all the more information. And if you haven't joined a tournament before, there have been some good articles on the site about how it all works and how it plays. If you're on the team too, how you find out about the bets, we'll either have an email or SMS service that'll go straight out. Yep. So as soon as the bet's been placed by one of your team captains, you'll know exactly what you're on. So that'll come through. So if Glenn's decided to have 10 on something, bang, you'll get that text message within 60 seconds of him being on, so you know exactly what you're on.
Okay.
Right, and what happens if one of the established teams goes out?
Well, that's what we're working out throughout the week, depending on what the response is and depending on how quickly they fill up. We might then have another open up some more facilities to be able to buy in, or we might just buy in on behalf of Top Better as well too. So, look, we're working that out. First things first, just get in your team. Get in your team first. Get your position in the team because they should go very quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Lovely.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah, and we'll have. I will catch up with Glenn to talk about Team Glenster as well too during the week.
Right, you're like an interview.
Yeah, just
a feature interview.
Well, just a Team Glenster interview. Well, you know what he's going to say.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, yes, but
because I'm favourite.
Yeah, I'm favourite. We'll be winning this time. Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, unbeatable.
I've been laying low in the cheaper tournaments.
Yeah, exactly, running dead. It's just all over. I'll leave them with their eyebrows, all that sort of shit. Anyway, get tournaments, whatever way you want to do it, it's there for you. Anyway, well, it's an interesting thing.
Let's talk about man of the match quickly as well.
Man of the match, who was?
Yeah. I even give it to Mark.
Thanks, man.
That's right. Yeah,
reinvigorated Mark Lambourne set.
That's right.
With so talk us through the mindset of just changing up your betting a little bit. For those that haven't seen it.
I was looking at it. I was being a bit formulaic, just a bit straight bat-ish.
Yep.
And so I thought, well, I better start having a bit more on the horses that I think will be a good bit longer than I assessed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And trying to target the particular horses that I actually liked, as opposed to any horses that I think I just found and will be longer. So, yeah, Canterbury kicked it off on Wednesday at Warwick Farm, low-key sort of day, nothing much happening. 3 races, only got 3 races in at Hawkesbury on Thursday, and then lit up the skies on Friday night.
Yeah, that was electrifying. There was
A Banks screaming home to.
I'll talk about A Banks soon. Storm siren, electrifying, A Banks, hieroglyphics.
So I had a very good night on Friday night, and then I think the first 5 races on Saturday were just they were electrifying as well.
Circle.
Yeah, I had lots of units invested on Saturday. I think 182 units on deck for Kembla and Randwick, and
normally that's your budget for the year.
And recouped them very, very quickly with interest.
Yeah,
nice job.
Beautiful, well done, Mark. So Mark's set, of course, available for all Sydney metropolitan and provincial race meetings.
And it has a new sheet attached to it, which have a
trading sheet.
Yeah, it's a trading sheet where I say back and lay, and I'm actually not tipping and bagging those horses. I'm saying back because I think this horse will firm and you can trade out for a profit. Lay, if possible, you know, maybe it's a matter of putting in an order there on the fair and seeing if it gets taken up. Lay with a view to trading out at a profit as well.
Perfect. Man of the match, Mark Lambourne. Next set would be for Canterbury on Wednesday. All right, boys. Mention the tournament, mention the man of the match, mention Terry Bailey, Cox Plate. Now, right.
Fuck me drunk.
Well, Winx is that. Before we speak about Winx, a lot has been mentioned about the Friday night into Saturday night, and if it rained, how it could cruel the track. And Darren and I have spoken about it ad nauseum for a while, and I think generally for the people who have to work hard on these meetings and that, I think there's a general opposition to the fact you've got the Friday night meeting. And I think that it does thin it out, and I'd rather not see it. So he's sort of somewhere in our dark mindset is you'd love to see it rain on Friday night and just destroy the Saturday, because you know, I mean, even back to this whole Telegraph thing and all that sort of stuff, it's coming to a point now that as us as the participants in the game, you know, maybe not the same participants as Pete talks about, we've just about all had enough of the whole bullshit. But what we saw wasn't the rain ruined it; it was the lack of rain ruined it, and then whatever. And we've had a fast dynamite track that was. Which was just dead set Leadersville on Saturday at Mooney Valley because of
it's the Mooney Valley you don't want to see.
No, exactly, and because of the lack of rain was actually the lack of and the being able to probably prepare the track properly in the lead up has cruelled Mooney Valley, or not cruel, but has probably put a racing pattern for Cox Plate Day that most people who follow racing patterns don't like.
Exactly, and for those that don't know Mooney Valley, it's basically railed true like we saw Friday night. Generally the rule of thumb is off fence they can sweep.
Just a little bit,
Out 3 metres is generally a little bit more advantageous to rail runs.
Yeah,
and then
but
once it gets to the 5 or whatever the next position is, that's leader.
Yeah.
But,
and generally 3 is regarded as the fairest position.
It is. But that lack of rain made it a fast track.
Yep. And as we know, for those who don't know,
Sydney fast track.
Yeah, the faster the track, the harder it is to make up ground.
Yeah, I know, but it's scary at Mooney Valley.
It is because you just rail around greyhound. It becomes a greyhound track.
And I think for punting confidence, it's actually important for the headline day not to be like that.
No, that's right, exactly.
Like that,
exactly right.
You know, the 1% of punters that win probably have the mechanisms to adjust their plan and turn that into a great scenario. But for the masses, it's a real bitter taste in their mouth.
And I think generally as a racing spectacle, it's more exciting watching horses come over the top than it is leading. And when that's your featured day and you've got a lot of peripheral punters exposed to it, you'd much rather see an off the fence day than an on the fence day. It's more exciting.
Yeah, no doubt. There was still some good racing, and a lot of favourites still did win, and you know, but I think Friday has got to go. And look, a lot of these races at the start of the day were awful. We'll talk about it soon. I ended up just passing on the first 4 races.
But isn't it one of those one race only days as well?
No. Cox Plate Day should be good. I mean, Cox Plate Day
races there.
Should be the good sprint race. The 2-year-old race, which is the manufacturer.
But isn't that where they're headed with it? They're going, well, you know,
this
day can stand up.
Mooney Valley race, Mooney Valley.
Melbourne Cup Day, for example.
Mooney Valley don't get many chances, so they're trying to build the rest.
They had
of
to
the card.
expand it to do that, but it's just.
But I assume that currently they're happy with the Friday night, Saturday night.
They probably will. That won't change.
You see turnover figures are probably.
Yeah, that exactly. It's great. It's fantastic. But again, like maybe is there a lack of being able to invent things other than those big days, and a lack of imagination in the administrative. I mean, there is an argument to say that the Mooney Valley Race Club shouldn't exist. Not Mooney Valley shouldn't exist, but why does Melbourne need 3 race clubs? Maybe if you remove that layer of administration from it, you wouldn't have to then be funding it, looking to overfund it by having an extra Friday night.
Right, so they're milking the cow.
Well, does Melbourne really need 3 race clubs? Wouldn't.
No, but it certainly needs 2.
It needs 2. It definitely needs 2.
Sydney needs 2.
The Melbourne Racing Club, or the VATC as we used to know it.
Yes.
That is what the STC used to be, and the stodgy VRC is the AJC, and they need that, and I think we're sadly lacking from that.
I think,
now in Sydney.
as you just touched on, it was mentioned on the radio this morning, Melbourne radio, that administrators, they just keep gouging the punter.
That's right.
Gouging the punter, and it looks good right now. But in 5 years' time, once those punters have done their dough, where's the
I just got sick of it, yeah. And I've got to say, this year, there was even with the stuff that we did, Darren did a set. As punters, and I think, Mark, you've made this point, we keep turning up to the Sunday meetings, we keep turning up to the Friday night meetings, we keep doing that. There has been a general feel from people to say, you know what, I'm not going, I'm not doing it, I'll just let it go, I'll let it go, I'll let it go. So that...
And that's the worst thing, Dale, is because when you get a taste for not doing something, it becomes easier not to do something else.
Exactly right. So
there's a resistance that's broken through there.
Yes, exactly. That resistance seems to be going. Anyway, let's not talk about the political issues. Let's talk about racing. And oh my God, Winx.
Where the hell has she come from?
Win triple X.
Just to trace the development of Winx. You recall earlier this year where she resumed in the light fingers and then the surround, and she was looking plain.
Very plain, yeah.
So then Chris went off and did something, and she returned in that 1500 metre races, the far laps, not the far lap.
That race.
The 1500 metre the 1500 metre 3-year-old race.
Yeah.
Where Sapara was challenging her for favouritism, and I think Haraki ended up running second in the race up from Melbourne.
Yeah.
But
sprinted well, but really.
Well, she did. She showed a turn of foot in a very slowly run race, but
it's still whooping.
But we're looking at the opposition and just going.
Yeah.
So then she sort of got a bit slaughtered in the Storm Queen, but she wasn't stamping herself all over the place. Got beaten up in the Oaks, which can happen, wet track, 2,400 metres.
Yep.
Then she turns up in Queensland and looks like some Burnborough type horse.
Yeah.
Just came out.
I was sort of potting against the rivals once again. They went fast and they just collapsed, and she just went over the top.
Over the top, but that was at Sunshine Coast first.
Yeah.
Sunshine Coast
down the outside. Well, well done.
2,200 Doomben, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Down to Doomben.
Now we're heralding a freak.
Now that she's come back at the 1,300 metre race at Rose Hill, she's gone 1,300 metre races 3 weeks into an Epsom and won that with an awful preparation for an Epsom, and then she's gone into a Cox Plate with an awful preparation for a Cox Plate, and quite possibly will be probably, when we convert it on Vince's numbers, probably about a length off the best. She's so far got the best raw figure of all time.
Yep.
But that track obviously will need to be kicked back a few, and just depending on it.
And she has also sat hard fence all the way around the course.
Yeah.
So that's maximising.
Maximising it. Yeah.
Right.
But that's also her running probably 10 lengths quicker in the early stages than she's ever run before.
Yeah.
Like our issue with.
But I mean, how fresh would she have been? Like, you're not. That's not unexpected given her preparation for the race.
Well, yeah, but it's unexpected to be able to keep going with it, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, track record as well, as you would assume.
Yeah.
But my question was, it's the first time we're going to see her off the bit, and this is like, she did not.
She didn't.
She was just trucking.
Oh, it was
going
amazing.
10 lengths faster than she's ever
Yeah, that's
gone
right. Well, I
before.
mean, I think what we wrote in the race speed profiles was, we're not saying that she can't do it, but because she's got to do so much more than she's ever done before, we're just going to have to let her slide.
$5,
Yeah, no, you got to go left or right. And I think the thing is, we wrote we were scared of her because we know that what she's got is freakish.
Yeah.
But when you've got to do that, and then she's not only done it, God's truth, she's just gone whooshka.
Yeah, just.
Well, the circumstances of the race were quite amazing as well. The way that what happened at, was it the 800?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, where
the cleaner just said, "Off you go." And somebody said, "Was that just a oneie in the Cox Plate?"
What was that? The cleaner just.
Yeah, he took the field out.
Yeah.
It was basically, oh, hang on, there's only one horse in this race.
Yeah.
But I mean, she then kept going.
A couple of whips. It was Sunline-esque.
Yeah, and Huey did that well on Emerald too. Is when he's got there and he's just rather than holding, like, no, I'm gonna risk going, and that's a confident jockey. And look,
he said it so well. He just rides the race, like
it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't want to get the gap so early, he said.
No, but
once
when it was there, let's make the most of it.
You're not supposed to be able to get the gap in the first place. No. You draw gate one, and the cleaner's going to lead. You're thinking, hang on, this is a bit ordinary.
Yeah, especially when you're on Highland Reel and you're looking and going, you're going okay, but Jesus Christ, have a look at her. Come on, Clint, it just...
You know, fall
Cassiano, let on me here, please, because I've got Winx here. I might have Winx covered, and then because you don't really see it watching the side on, you go, oh, we're in a bit of trouble here.
And look, Criterion would have made it a little bit closer. He got clipped on the corner as well, but never would have threatened the winner.
From the numbers that we've got and what we had, Criterion and Highland Reel have probably run up to their figures. I mean, they've done as good as they have, but somehow Winx has come out and just gone, here I am, I'm the best horse ever.
Ryan Moore just ignoring the track bias for the whole day. Didn't want to go anywhere near the rail. Actually wanted to get off the rail, which apparently is a European thing to do. Good on him last time.
Uncluttered?
Yeah, uncluttered. And
he won on Adelaide?
Highland Reel, they ran a ripper race.
Yeah.
But I think we've unearthed the... Yeah. We just got Exosphere this year. Have we been blessed with a couple of...
Well, okay, we'll use that as a bit of a segue into Mr. O'Shea, Exosphere. Now, again, we've seen everything look rosy at the start. Grand final day, I know they weren't hard in the market, but I'd imagine something's happened to Complacent, hasn't it? It's run 35 lengths off them.
Well, it's at 3 deep per hour.
So it's probably been gassed and on a fast pace. And Hartnell didn't figure. Probably should have been running it. Should have been
okay, but it was
probably should have been.
Something was wrong with that prep, wasn't it?
Well, it was. It was wrong.
The run was
contributor has gone. All that sort of stuff. Now, again, you know, like it's everything. Everything looks good early on, but come grand final day, it's not there.
Who do you want to call?
Chris Waller, maybe, or
no, look, I don't know. Like something went wrong with even our mate who's close to the Godolphin. Like why Contributor was first up in that 1600 metre race with
and my Hunter was first up in that race too, in the race in on pace.
Maybe there was injuries that we didn't know about or something. I suppose that's supposed to be.
But is he showing a lack of experience with handling those horses?
Well, possibly too. And another point that was made to me today was that these international horses tend to go well in their first preps over here, and their second preps they're gone. Yeah. And you know why? Well, maybe it's because they just get. And this is just not totally bagging John O'Shea. Chris Waller didn't get Adelaide up and running. Yeah. The training methods obviously become different. I'd imagine their conditions become different.
Yeah.
And and a lot of the horses have been trained by Aidan O'Brien, who's probably the best in the world. And they're that further removed from Aidan O'Brien.
I think it's just different. Like if you've been training the same way for 10 years, your body is built to do something completely different. You won't be the same.
If you're rolling up and down hills and dales at the Curragh or wherever, I don't know, wherever it is they train, and then you're suddenly running around Rose Hill, 30 degrees cooler.
It's a good little pearl there. In the International's first prep. Like we saw Contributor ran really well, had a little break, and then was dominant.
Yeah.
So he's sort of stepped back now.
Yeah.
Saw Bow Creek. That was pretty good.
It was good.
Wow, that was good, wasn't it?
That was good, yeah.
And the market just said
the mail wasn't ready, and it did come off to, whilst it was a plus 10 horse overseas, it did come off to two career shocking runs. Yeah. So it had to reinvent itself as well.
I can see Bow Creek picking up some of those nice races early on this time.
But don't think about it for the championships.
Yeah.
That'll have a double spread in the
I don't know about what you're saying with that. I know what you're saying, but
maybe it is just the curse of the overseas horses that they can cop one preparation here.
Yeah.
And Australia is a little bit different weather to England.
Just a bit.
Yeah. All right.
It used to be they talk about acclimatising, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
See, because that's.
I mean, since more of them have been coming, tons of them have been. It certainly has been a propensity to shine early on.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, because they're operating at a higher level than they used to now. They're operating at the absolute high level, whereas previously they'd be whacking around 2,000 metre June 20 at Rose Hill.
Yeah.
So maybe that absolute higher level is seeing them out. I don't know. Anyway, food for thought. Anyway, turn me loose. Speaking about flying,
I'll tell you what.
How's Bjorn's dad going?
I feel so sorry for John Walter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This horse has just run time, winning group races, and the poor bloke couldn't get it to win.
Couldn't get it to beat Old Worthy Course. Yeah, that's right.
For 1.2 million, but look, the horse ran some huge figures to start before.
Ran enormous at Seymour. Yeah, that was a real worry of a flat run.
And then, look, the circumstances of Saturday wanted you to be on.
Yeah, well, because Turn Me Loose was just as much chance as Lucky Hustler having a flat run, and it looks like Lucky Hustler has had a flat run. Now we want to.
Attempted to defy the bias, Lucky Hustler.
Yeah, that's right, of course too. And Turn Me Loose had it all in its favour, but yeah, it still did look to be a bit flat, and that coming off that brutal run.
Yeah.
You really do need 3 weeks, and I think we're going to, when we talk about Randwick, we'll see that. We saw that with Barra Miller, i.e. Winetails, and Casino Dancer. They both came off that high rating race. Now, that race might start getting boxed now, but next week it's going to be 3 weeks removed.
It's going to be long enough.
Or even better if you've had the run and then run in 2 weeks' time. So
are you suggesting that
follow Winetails?
Winetails?
I'm suggesting that Winetails is getting further and further removed from Barra Miller every time it goes around.
Oh, wow.
Team Barra Miller.
Wow. Is it spelling Barra Miller? Has it gone out?
Oh, it's just. I think the Waller camp got word that we were suggesting that, and they've got a rap on Winetails.
Right. So
if you look at the quotes from Liam, it's like, are you kidding? Comparing these two horses, they're not even the same grade. Barra Miller will be retired, and they'll just keep racing Winetails just to get near it.
There you go.
United States.
Yeah. It was actually a good race to watch. The market
But
said...
an enjoyable race I've watched.
Yeah, the market said yes, and look, stepping up to 2,400 for the first time, and I actually didn't mind the tactics of Prince and Penzance.
Oh, yeah.
It went, from what I heard, it went like 20 lengths above, but
I did go.
that's what I saw Ralphie put on there, his first chat to Vince. I backed Prince and Penzance.
Just always be careful with those figures though, because they do need they need a
solid.
lot. Raw,
First flush, aren't they?
yeah, raw is always a hell of a lot. Like even
Yeah.
I fell into the trap with Chautauqua first up. Was it first up down the straight where Dwayne Dunn found every bit of on Turnbull Stakes Day. Was it Turnbull Stakes Day?
Yeah.
And yeah, the overall number didn't look much good, but then when you factored everything in, it became exactly where you wanted it to be.
But I think good job, Prince of Penzance, out by 3, 4, 5 lengths maybe on the bend, and look, Huey just sucked and just got over the top.
Yeah.
Sickening for those of us that were on the leader, but yeah, Prince of USA can run 2,400.
Yeah,
not a top class 2,400, but on the up, I suppose.
That's been pretty much maligned the Mooney Valley Cup for a long time, and it looks to stay there.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that anything else Saturday you wanted to mention, Matthew?
Oh, look, there weren't many good races, to be honest. Like you mentioned.
You got the Derby trial. Isn't the Derby looking low?
Yeah, look, it's
because the filly won the
Jamaica. Jamaica, great once again. The right ride. It was the Vase. Vase. And Tarzino. He looks. He wasn't suited and he ran huge. It's him. I think he's come into about $2.50 for the Derby, and then there's like
all first prep though.
Out to $9. Yeah, not much doing there, but well done to Jamaica.
For the Philly.
Where's Vanbrugh?
Oh no, Vanbragh's not. No, Vanbrugh announced.
Vanbragh's done his job.
Vanbrugh is not running.
Yeah. So look, Tarzino, I think he's got the Derby. Well, as you said, first prep, but on face value, he's a deserved favourite. And John Walter.
It's funny. It's a race that's propped up by the day, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Well,
we would never ever. It was like the Oaks. BRC Oaks is also propped up by the fact that it's in the middle of a hot carnival.
I'd say the Derby almost ranks 4th or 5th best race of the day on that. I mean, the McKinnon Stakes has now become a proper race.
Anyway, then we'll see the girls,
and the 3-year-olds,
Jamaicas and Pasadena girls lining up with the Sydney horse. In the Oaks, I suppose. Dawning Perfect. Yeah. And it's probably a good chance.
Who was that horse that Ron Quinton won on? Was it Ron? No, it was Bulla Bugesi. Did she win
Bulla Bugesi? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know.
They don't exactly. Rattling off BRC Oaks winners isn't exactly a great exercise, is it? Okay. We mentioned Excess Fear, so that runs this week.
Yeah. So as the market has flipped for the Dali Classic now with Chautauqua. As they do, whatever happens on the weekend.
Well, Chautauqua, I reckon's gone now. After, as I said, getting a little bit wrong on the Raw and the 1, Chautauqua's now back operating in that 10 range, and that's where Exosphere was.
Yeah.
But that was Exosphere a month ago with Johnny O'Shea bringing it there, running it if it runs this week, and then runs on the back.
It's a horse that's already up and running in the sense that he's already got it there, whereas the horses that he was struggling with the Heart Horse contributors.
Haven't really ever
Well,
been still.
Well, he just hadn't got them there. This
Yeah, I know,
preparation,
but do you want him to have them there and then? Do you want to do that? Would you? You know?
Well, look, it's a salivating clash, and I mean,
Yeah.
But it's got to happen yet.
Chautauqua's got to carry T-Berry, I assume.
Oh no, he'll be back to D-Dun.
D-Dun, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
D-Dun
really?
in Melbourne. Yeah, D-Dun in Melbourne. Tommy went down because D-Dun was suspended.
Okay.
D-Dun gets the ride on our moon quiz.
There were so many layers for Chautauqua Friday night. The whole of Canterbury betting ring, including
Yeah.
Mr. Pollitt. I had a message that Doltz was laying, and
Yeah.
Tommy. Look, he's been lauded as a great rider. Look, I suppose cut a corner, but he did nothing, and then just he forced his way out because he's on a champion.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, look, well done to them, but yeah, look, I'm still a little bit.
Chautauqua, there's
I'm
another
still a little
horse
bit
that was
excess
loitering,
here.
wasn't he?
It was loitering. It did the giddy circuit. The
Hawkesbury
spin-
Racecourse claimed another victory.
Gosford Guineas, Hawkesbury Guineas.
Scone Guineas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even the Scone Guineas is even worse because it's an English race,
Just
isn't it?
needed to go to the Queensland Guineas.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit exosphere. I'm in that camp.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, it'll be
maybe.
interesting. Who's the opponents on Saturday in the 3-year-old race?
I'll have to have a look.
He should
I'll look after
We'll
the
do
race.
a couple
Sorry,
of-
is he running in both races?
I think Saturday's the first game. So he should, from what any 3-year-old's done, he should be able to towel them up.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, anyway. Anyway, all right, well, that
Sorry, just one last point on Melbourne. Where to for Winx? Where's she going?
Oh, spelling, I'd say.
Right, so
in
they
the-
thought
in the
just
fucking
to pick
moon.
up the Maya Classic?
Yeah,
Oh.
well, it'd be tempting.
Because that was
wouldn't
the
it?
original target.
That was the original time. Well, she's had 3 runs.
She did that so easily.
But, yeah,
it looks easy on
I
paper.
always remember back then, remember Final Card? That sprinter
Yeah.
who could go whatever, and
Yeah.
it won a race, it ran 1-2 for 1200 or something like that, and it did it on its chest, and
Yes.
everyone said how easy it
Yeah.
did, and then it came out the next day and couldn't go. Just because they do it easy, when they run that, they're actually they're not doing it easy.
Yeah, Mr. Just Racing is very hard on horses that run track records
Yeah.
at their last start.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah, no matter how easy you are doing it,
Yeah.
you're doing something phenomenally gut busting
Yep.
to do it.
Yeah, be better off with the spell.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we might as well just say that's part 1.
I think so.
And do part 2 as Randwick.
Yep.
And some of the good news in racing.